this is Gerald Celente, and it's Thursday, July 15th, 2021. And here are some of today's trends in the news. On the market front in the USSA, and not a lot happening. And up, down, closed down a little bit. Everything's closing down a little bit, and the earnings are coming in. The earnings report, they're not bad, but the bigs are making the dough, and a lot of the little ones are going down. And that's what it's basically about. Oil prices are going down. And they cut a deal over there with Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, and they're putting more supply out there. So demand's not keeping up with it. Stockpiles went down. So what's going to go on with this? Here's our forecast. You're going to start seeing a market correction. It's been too flat. And it could happen, between now and the end of the year. I think sooner rather than later. The whole thing is artificially propped up. Gold prices, they're going back up. How come? Because inflation is real. Janet Yellen, who spoke to CNBC's Closing Bell on Thursday, if only a woman was in charge. I'm tired of hearing that crap. You keep hearing that. I don't care, black, white, green, yellow. I want the best of the best. Yellen? Yellen, you mean the former head of the bankster group? To show you how corrupt and this country is so shot? The former head of the Federal Reserve is now our Treasury Secretary? The Federal Reserve owned by the banksters, the J.P. Morgan Chases and the big guys? And that's our Treasury Secretary? Yeah. Anyway, get it in your head, everybody. Get it in your head. You have criminals in charge. If you're too damn stupid to see that, get the hell away get off this channel, tune in Fox, CNN. You got to be a complete goddamn moron not to see the corruption that's robbed us of our freedom and our money and our lives. Biden, bullshit Biden, the guy that voted for the Afghan war that's now ending it, threw out his horse shit during the presidential nominations for the Democrats in 2020, saying he didn't vote for the war, and he did. Murderers and thieves. Anyway, Yellen, speaking on CNBC, I'm not saying that this is a one-month phenomenon. She said that prices could continue to rise for several more months before cooling off. That means inflation's going up. But I think over the medium term, we see inflation decline back toward normal levels. You know what that is?
That is bullshit.
You got it. Because they've been saying that it was temporary. That's the shit that was flowing out of craphead Powell's mouth. I better be careful, because the banksters will kill me. I'm not afraid of the military-industrial complex. They don't hate men. But the banksters, there was this Jesus Christ, you know that story? Drives the money changers out of the temple. Had to make his own whip. Couldn't buy it at Walmart's back then. And now they're not allowed to sell whips. Unless, of course, you're into a different kind of thing. But we won't talk about that. Anyway, what happens? He drives the money changers out of the temple. Has a Last Supper. How was it? And then on the cross. That's who's running the world. So anyway, I see the dollar going down, gold going up. They have a new, put more trillions in there, and they need to keep interest rates low because you have over $30 trillion debt. And as interest rates go up, you got to pay more on that national debt. And what's one of our top trends for 2021? China 2021? Yeah, that one. And what do you have here? International investors buy Chinese assets at record pace. Financial Times. Deal making pumps up profits at Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan Chase. Deal making. That's what the Wall Street Journal calls it. Deal making. Get it? Plantation workers of Slavelandia? Oh, before I forget, you got to stay tuned to the end of this Trends in the News video, because I wrote a song, and Smokey Hormel and the gang put it on. Yep, the COVID blues. It's going to come up at the end of this song. The COVID blues. All you people out there that want to put on the masks and get the vaxxers, this song, you'll hate it. It's not for you. Goldman rises its revenues driven by asset management. Yeah, great, huh? Asset management. BlackRock closes in on the once unthinkable $10 trillion in assets. Got it, everybody? Got it, everybody? When I was a young man, there wasn't a BlackRock. No, there wasn't a Goldman Sachs doing these deals. There wasn't a JP Morgan. There were banks, and they were intrastate, not interstate, slimy, low-life pieces of scum, pieces of shit, rotten pieces of crap. The Carters, the Clintons, the Bushes, the Nixons, the Reagans, the Trumps, the Obamas, the Bidens. All right? All doing deals to the bigs. Digital currencies require EU-wide regulations, says French watchdog. A watchdog. Again, digital. You got it in your Trends Journal. We're this close away from where Bitcoin could collapse, going down into the 10,000, and even possibly lower levels. Food industries sneak in higher costs. Isn't that a nice way to put it? Wall Street Journal, sneak in higher costs, shrinkflation. You're giving you less and you're paying the same. Inflation, according to the Associated General Contractors of America, contractors' cost went up 26.3% from June 2020 to June of this year. Yeah, lumber prices have gone down, but they're still up. And so are a lot of other prices. All right, rent prices are soaring in America. And this is out of the Washington Post. Nationwide, rent prices are up 7.5% so far this year, 3 times higher than normal, according to data from Apartments.com. And all the peasants of Slavelandia, all those folks that work, that don't have enough money to live a decent life, and now you can't get a job where you could keep moving up the ladder because the bigs own everything. There is no ladder at Amazon, at Target, at Home Depot, at Staples, at any of the big ones, because they're all in control. So you can't get your own business and you can't move up the ladder, so you're going to stay at the bottom. And minimum wage workers can't afford rent anywhere in America. Yep. And that's right from the Cartoon News Network. And you're looking at the rents in New York. Average asking retail rents fell 10.7% year over year per square foot for the 15th consecutive drop. Good news. Pepsi lifts 2020 one outlook as soda sales rebound. The results show resilient demand for salty snacks with Frito-Lays. Sales in North America rising 9%. Pancake mix went up. People eating this stuff, and you look at it, 70% of Americans are overweight, 42% obese, 42% obese, 72% overweight, 40% obese. There's no fight left in this country. Cruise line sues on vaccine proof. And they're suing Florida over there. I'm only mentioning this because here's what they say. This is Norwegian Cruise Lines Holdings. The company argued that restricting the flow of information in the case of vaccine documentation affects freedom of speech protected by the First Amendment. That's what they're telling in this lawsuit. Freedom of speech? What are you talking about? There's no freedom of speech. Oh, you could get freedom of speech because you're Norwegian, but none of us could. No, we're banned. We're blacklisted. Oh, I got to be careful. I can't say that word. I don't be cool, you know. Yeah. Freedom of speech? Who are you kidding? Virus case counts are rising in U.S., sparking concern. Big story in the Wall Street Journal. Deaths, however, you got to read the end of the story, a lagging indicator, are relatively low at a 7-day average of 255. But yet they're spreading all this fear. You look at the charts. February, it's up here. It's like 3,000 something a day. Now it's 225. And the people that are dying are, again, that obese, the overweight, diabetics, type 2 diabetes, obesity, 2.6 comorbidities, and elderly. And I'm elderly. I didn't die yet. And when I had rallies and I had festivals on the 4th of July, and everybody hated me for doing it up here in the little mines around here. Not everybody, the little jerks. And how about getting in good health? No, we won't talk about that. That's not allowed because Pepsi sales are going up. Shots becoming mandatory in parts of China. And they're saying that the herd mentality rate is 80 to 85%. Herd immunity, it's the herd mentality rate. And don't forget, you're going to hear a great song coming up. Again, we become China. U.S. drug overdose soared to nearly 30%. All right? We said this was going to happen. It's happening. And they use the words that they're blaming it on the pandemic. Don't blame it. It's not. Blame it on the politicians, you scumbag shitheads. They're the ones that did it. These egomaniacs that know dick about shit, but authoritarians, they're the ones that locked it down. U.S. steps up fight against COVID-19 misinformation. Oh, misinformation. Why, that's sexist. I think you should call it Mr. Information. I think it should be No, I think it should be general information. Well, you got to get it, yeah, because Mr., we got to get a transgender in there. Misinformation has led people to reject vaccines and public health advice on masks and social distancing, undermining efforts to end the coronavirus pandemic and putting lives at risk. U.S. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy today called for a national effort to fight misinformation about COVID-19. Look at this clown. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this little shithead holding up this thing. And the crap spewing out of his mouth, man, those teeth should be black with shit going through them. Here's what he says. The 22-page advisory, his first as President Joe Biden's Surgeon General, dressed up in military drag. Look at it. Look at his dress of this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. What are you on, Broadway? No, Broadway's closed down. You can't go there if you don't have a vaccination. I forgot. The national effort urging tech companies, healthcare workers, journalists, prostitutes, and every American to do more to address the problems that, quote, cost us lives. The 22-page that he wrote that bogus claims have left people to reject vaccinations. Who are you talking to? You mean the Operation Warp Speed? That's not a vaccination? That hasn't been approved by the FDA? You mean that one? You mean the one that some of them banned in other countries? Like Norway? This is a disgrace. And we pay this clown. He's a clown. Look at him. All right? And public health advice, you mean the shit that bureaucrats throw out at you? Healthcare workers and on masks and social distancing. Masks? You mean the mask that scumbag Fauci said that, hey, you don't have to wear these things? Yeah, he even sent an email to one of Obama's former people that worked there, Health and Human Services, saying, yeah, don't even wear them at the airport. On CNBC, don't wear them. And the studies and the box. Yeah, I got the box. Hey, fuckface, I got the box. Yeah, read the box. Or maybe you're too goddamn stupid to read the box. Here's the box. Here's the box. These are the masks that all the freaks wear. Here they are. Red, white, and blue. You got it? There we go here. Bump, 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 bump. Boop. Where's the directions here of how ineffective these masks are? All right. I know they're here somewhere. These masks do not eliminate exposure to the risk of any disease or infection. And as for social distancing, your chances of catching it outside are the grand total of about 1%, according to the data. And you're lying, sending out, this is misinformation. Oh, I can't call it misinformation. How dare you? That's being sexist to say it's misinformation because you're making a negative. How's that for stupidity? Maybe they'll teach that in school next. During COVID-19 pandemic, misinformation has led people to resist wearing masks in high-risk settings. It's led them to turn down proven treatment and to choose not to get vaccinated, he said. Today we live in a world, choose not to get vaccinated. I am a free man. Hey, Junior, come over here and try to vaccinate me. How about that, all right? I could go on with this. And they're still selling this shit, the whole. Public health experts are growing increasingly concerned about rise in anti-vaccination rhetoric among elected officials and right-wing media. I'm not a right-wing anything. I'm not a right-wing. That's the bullshit. Delta variant widens gulf between two Americas. Yeah? And I read the article over here. The curves have also been shifting upwards in New York. And Delta variant, oh yeah, here it is. The data remains messy. This is the kind of bullshit, stupid fucking language they use in the Wall Street Journal, messy. The New York Times. And it could change. You can't find narrow statistics to point in any direction, variously suggesting that Delta is more severe, similarly severe, or less severe. But the bulk of the evidence indicates no change. You know what that is?
Bullshit.
You got it. The evidence is that it's less severe. Dr. Paul Sachs of Brigham Women's Hospital in Boston said the sense of greater disease severity is more anecdotal than driven by actual data. And I don't think it makes kids sicker. It has often been the case, the COVID. Delta is creating a huge amount of noise in the U.S., Paul Hanage, an epidemiologist at Harvard, told the Times. But I don't think it's right to be ringing a huge alarm bell. And that's what they're doing. Spain's top court rules pandemic lockdown unconstitutional. And they got protests going on there in Melbourne. That little shithead over there, they closed it down again, little Danny Andrews. They're closing it down. Masks going to be made mandatory indoors and outdoors. And you don't need them outdoors. And they're making up the bullshit, 6 feet, 3 feet. You know, oh yeah, it's bullshit. The cough could go like 27 feet. But they're going to start it at the mandatory. We're unable to socially, it's 11:59 p.m. tonight. I say, or yesterday, 11:59, I say it should be 12:01. Why I say 11:58? Yep, big protests. The lockdown will end at 11:59 on Tuesday next week. Oh, well, I say it should end at 12:01 on Wednesday. They're making this crap up. And we got a whole lot more. But I want to end it with protests in France and Greece, protests in Melbourne. People have had it with this. It's time to stand up and fight. And we're doing everything we can. We're doing it with the Trends Journal, a magazine, nothing like it. The last one was 160 pages. No ads. You read from it what you want. Yep. Give up your freedom. Those are the vaccinations there. So, and we're doing it with Occupy Peace. And we had a great festival, and we're going to keep fighting. And all you people down under, and another lockdown place, in L.A. today, you got to wear your masks again when you're inside. Yep. Even if you're vaccinated. So, for all you people, this is Gerald Celente, some of today's trends in the news, but here's the COVID Blues by Smokey and his band.
Here's a little tune that was written by the maestro, Mr. Gerald Celente. Gerald sent me these words, and I thought, man, we should work in the grill building. I got the COVID blues, and I'm feeling so bad. I got the COVID blues, and I'm bad as I can be. They're trying to take my freedom and they're stealing my life from me. Well, I think for myself and I won't do what they say. Well, I think for myself and I won't do what they say. They don't care what I think, they just want me to obey. I'm me, don't tell me what to be. I'm gonna fight for my freedom and my liberty. I got the COVID blues and I'm blue as I can be. Well, they're taking my freedom and they're stealing my life from me. Hey, have you heard? Freedom is the word, and this cap's gonna blow like a free flying bird. If you want that vaccine pass, you better get in line if you want that vaccine pass. You can take it in the arm or you can take it up the ass. No chat, no no job, no mask, no ride, no smile, no expression. It's mask aside. I got the COVID blues and I'm blue as I can be. Well, they're taking my freedom and they're stealing my life. So sad, 'cause I've got them COVID blues. Well, I feel so sad, 'cause I've got them COVID blues. But if we fight for our freedom, you know that we won't lose. Got the COVID blues and I'm as blue as I can be. I got the COVID blues and I'm I can be. Taking my freedom and stealing my life from me.
The COVID-19 war has changed the world, but who's prepared? What's next? It's in your Trends Journal. Trends Journal subscribers are prepared. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.